Good evening, World Wide Web. Another update video on natural gas boil. We did a video on this one a couple of days ago. I just wanted to update everybody. Tropical Storm Brett is now the real deal. It is a tropical storm. It's supposed to hit 70 miles an hour tomorrow, or within 24 hours. And I think at 74 miles an hour, it becomes a hurricane, Brett. It's cruising due west. It's coming right towards Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic. It's going to go one of two different ways. It's going to either approach the Dominican and Puerto Rican island, and then it's going to go north and miss everything. And half the spaghetti strings have it flowing right into the Gulf of Mexico. So the spaghetti string model is showing probably about a 50% chance that it's going to hit the Gulf. And I think hurricane status is no-brainer at this point. Tropical Storm Brett also has another tropical storm in the future right behind it. And Africa just shot out several little more thunderstorm combinations that are flowing out into the Atlantic and could very well form into more of these things. I'm counting 5 or 6 of them that are very possible. I think the record was 8 in the Atlantic at one time, which was probably pretty horrifying. I think I remember that. I think it was just a few years back. But right now, there's 2 minimum. One's tropical storm with hurricane certainty with a 50-50 chance of wrecking some natural gas stuff and causing this price to go up big time. Most of the natural gas in the world is pumped along Texas, right along beach side, maybe 10-15 miles inland at most, real close to the coast, all the way to Louisiana. That's most of the natural gas companies. That's where they're located at, and that's where they're getting the most gas, and that's the biggest donation to the world's gas supply. I'm not sure how the hurricane affects it. I've been doing a lot of research and a lot of question asking. Maybe you can help me in the comments below understand it, learn more about it, and teach other people. But we have possible storm surge. I don't know what a natural gas line going into the ground looks like when water goes over it and it becomes 5 feet underwater. I guess they can't pump it the same way they used to. They can't get it out. They might not be able to make deliveries. 70% of all of our electric on the grid comes from natural gas. There's constant demand for it. It's not that the demand's going to go way higher. It very well may, because a lot of people are going to be cooking on natural gas everywhere this train wreck happens. But that's not the real catalyst here. The catalyst is the world's largest donor is going to be shut down for a week or a half a week, and something like that would really screw up the price of natural gas. But now that we've hit, I don't know if we're going to be a full hurricane by tomorrow, but we're going to be right at the cusp of a hurricane. If this thing hasn't gone north in the morning, I'm expecting, just a wild guess, I'm just guessing, we're not betting on this one yet. This one's for learning. We're going to learn how the market reacts to a tropical storm and a hurricane through Hurricane Brett here. We're going to watch and learn. When this thing gets closer and closer, I'm expecting the price to now go up and up and up and up and up tomorrow. And if it heads north, and the other one does too, I'm expecting it to plummet back down to $2.50. I'm expecting it to go right with the storm. It's up from $2.40-something cents to $3.31 in 3 days. Now the storm is still on track. It's much bigger. Half the spaghetti models have it hitting the Gulf. They apparently won't know where it's really going until it crosses the Antilles, which I guess is just off South America. So that it needs to come a little bit closer, and then they start flying the planes into the storm and measuring the amount of millibars and the pressures, and they get better directions and better spaghetti models and better reports. and better predictions once they've done that. So at this point, all of the data is being gained by radar, and apparently the real data is to come. Probably any day now. It'll give us a much better percentage of it hitting the Gulf than we're having right now. Right now it's like 50-50. That could change to 80-20 in either direction. So it could greatly change, but mostly we're interested in watching what happens to the stock. I'm not recommending playing the guessing game on, oh, it's going to hit or it's not going to hit. Well, what I'm recommending is watching Africa and watching the storms poof out of there. And once they poof, you see natural gas poof. And I think we need to play these poofs and just play it till they get to the middle of the Atlantic, to the decision point, and then get out. Get out before it makes a decision. If it's not coming to the Gulf, thank God we're out. If it does come to the Gulf, we'll probably miss out some. Or maybe we'll get a different option position of a much smaller quantity. I don't really know. If you guys got any good trades for this or best techniques for saving yourself in case it does go north and miss completely and the price plummet, that's my main worry. But it seems like the initial poof and warm water, it just seems like it's going to be a no-brainer. There's going to be 50 storms this year, and you can watch Africa just shooting them out right now. Looks like it just died down. It looks like it shot out 2 or 3 more. It looked like there could be 5 or 6 out there, but I think 2 of them are real. They have eyes, and one of them's almost a hurricane. The other one's almost a tropical storm right behind it. The other 3 or 4, they are, I guess, groups of tornadoes and thunderstorms that are kind of cruising in a group as a big storm package, and they form into a what the heck do you call it? A tropical depression? Yeah, how about that? Or they call it a wave, and then they call it a tropical depression, and then it turns into a tropical storm, and then it turns into a hurricane. Then it goes Cat 1, Cat 2, Cat 3, Cat 4, Cat 5. This one's going to hit 74 early. The water's really warm. All of the recipes are there for hurricanes right now. And I'm told that June is very rare to have this much activity. Usually they form in the Caribbean in June. They form real quick. They pop up there, and then they flow into the Gulf real quick like. They don't come popping out of Africa in June. So apparently this is kind of an anomaly that we have this warm of water right now. So just some interesting news. And the powerful ones come from Africa. They have the most time to build up. Those are the ones that hit 200, 150, 175. Usually the Gulf ones usually don't get to those levels because they don't have enough time to generate to that kind of a speed. But just some news and some update on Boyle. Watch it tomorrow. It should be going bananas in the morning. I guess we would have already had this and kept it to now. Had we played this, we would have probably bought it around 280, 270, something around there. Once the storm, the Boyle natural gas geeks, the people that really pay attention to natural gas, they're weather watchers. These people are staring at the weather 24/7, and they're the first ones in the game. They're probably 5 or 10% of the natural gas market. Not people buying natural gas, but people buying the stocks. They're watching the weather, and that's where they're getting their first news of anything: hot, cold, more power needed, hurricane coming, whatever it is. Those people have an advantage in the game. The other 90% of the population is speculating. They might see the hurricane on the news and then go, oh, let's get some of that. Or they might think, oh, it's going to be a cold winter, or here comes a cold. They might look at late weather. They're not watching it live. Then I'd say 70-something% are just kind of playing it. They're more your Robin Hood player. They're not your hardcore meteorologist type. So I think that you have an advantage in this game if you are the meteorologist guy. If you pay attention, or girl, you pay attention to it, you're going to win. But check out Boyle tomorrow. It should be, my guess is up big, just up huge. We'd have a hurricane with a 50-50 chance of hitting the Gulf. We didn't have that on Friday. We had a bunch more maybes, and the maybes are looking like more slightly likelies, and that's going to really make this price change. And then if it heads north and misses everything, the price should plummet. So it depends on how many more are trailing behind it, possibly threatening. But if the first ones go north, maybe the rest of them do too for now. But I guess this weather changes on a dime. Thank you very much. Please like the video and subscribe to my channel. I'll check in with y'all tomorrow on Boyle. And I'm expecting a really big up tomorrow. And then depending on the next couple of days, probably just keep on going up until this thing either goes away or keeps coming. And if it keeps coming, I'm thinking $5 something, $6, $7 natural gas before it even gets to the Gulf. That's what I'm expecting. It's like a 7-day or 8-day journey still. So there's a whole lot of stock moving to be going on, and a lot more people piling on to the bet, which will then unwind probably after it's over, I'm sure. But don't buy anything. Just learn from this one unless you're an established player. And if you are, please leave some comments and teach the rest of us. We need to know what you know. Thank you. Have a wonderful evening, and good night.